Welcome to Nostalgia Pilots, a Mobile Fighter G Gundam podcast that it's made by such great people, although sometimes they can be disagreeable. I'm Hugh.
I'm Jurd.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Spence.
And we're here to talk about episode 22, Breakthrough, Warrior Strong Ties.
So,
Dun, dun.
I thought we were going to get something impressive, which was we started right where we had left off with the, finger on finger punch or whatever. And I thought, okay, we're just going to pick up right there. We're almost going to have continuity here. We're not even going to, and then all of a sudden here comes the announcer and we get the whole spiel and, everything gets caught up. But I thought we were just going to contiguously go into it.
Well, this is in the days before streaming, so they had to assume someone missed the previous episode.
Yeah, this show, I guess 8th MS Team maybe as much, but it just feels like the continuity you need per episode. This is supposed to be a simple show about guys from people from different countries fighting each other with kind of racist stereotypical robots. But that is not what we have developed here. We've got some sort of weird card-based club system going on. We've got robot snake head things coming out the ground. We've got a brother who's not really the brother and another robot that maybe is just a sentient zombie AI machine. Who knows? Like, this, in theory, is the simplest of the Gundam approaches, and it just does not lend itself at all to the, oh yeah, we're going to go a week between each episode, and this is 22 episodes in. I hope you've been paying attention to what's been going on.
So Domon and Master Asia are banging fingers. And Master Asia wins again.
They banged fingers so hard, Domon broke his hand.
Thumbs up to the Gundam falling and landing flat on its back. I love how human the robots are. No, I'm out.
Yeah, that was like a very, very Dragon Ball fall in that scene. Just like he lands on the earth, laid out, and the earth cracks around him.
Goku, this is no time to sleep. I'm so tired.
And for some reason, all the wire, it looks like a house that had the ceiling cave in. It's got all these fabric and wires hanging down. I'm just well, damn. You think the Gundam would have been built sturdier than that? Like Optimus Prime said, I thought you were made of sterner stuff.
Don't even get me started on how many times Chibity's robot looked like Optimus this episode. I was like, awesome. Just bring out the rest of them. Let's do this.
Optimus Prime with a pistol.
See, my problem is that, that his head's shaped like a football helmet, and every time I see that red, white, and blue robot with the football helmet, I get flashbacks to the AFC East Championship game. I bet Josh Allen could have piloted them out of there.
And that's for all you anime fans who also cross-exist with the sports fans.
Both of you.
Or at least American football. Anyway.
No. It's just for those from Buffalo.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Speaking of climactic moments.
Yeah, the group is surrounded. They've got the little weird snake head things coming out the ground, which, let's not, I'm trying to work out the diagram here. Is the rest of the body below the earth as well? What is the advantage of just having the snake head come out?
I guess it's just a platform for them to have laser eyes.
Okay, so yes, that is a fairly effective approach.
Because Natasha, sends a drone out to navigate, to, try and plot their escape route, and it, gets blown up. And, Chibity is super into it.
Yeah, I love how excited he is. It is a very American thing to be check
that's
out that
great.
Yeah.
Chibity is giving me straight up I'm gonna try to smash. I think she'd be a great time. He's giving her fuck eyes halfway through this episode, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Rain can barely stand, but she's like, "Well, I'm gonna fix the robot. It's fine."
So Chibity, I think, just needs to get laid. I think he has a respect for his mechanics, and so there is a no relationship with my mechanics rule, and so he really needs to get laid. The only two other femme-bodied people who he's clearly attracted to is Rain, and then there is a power top of Natasha, who for some reason Schwarzbruder can't say her name right in the dub and calls her Nastasha. And I'm like, and nobody thought to redo that take? Nobody? No?
It you know what? Maybe it's because obviously he's not German, or maybe he forgot that he was supposed to be German Japanese and went Russian Japanese. I don't know. Like his accent is all over the place.
Either that, or they have smashed, and that is her bedroom name.
Boy,
he left the helmet on.
Well, he's got to leave the helmet on. He needs to protect his mysterious identity.
True.
I do. Okay, I do want to rewind just a second, since we're talking about him anyhow. There's that sequence where they're escaping the snakeheads, and he uses the ninja trick where he, like, dazzles them with a bright light. And I'm thinking, okay, this is pretty standard kids' cartoon business. Like, Hugh and I have seen this on the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon 1,000 times. You just throw up a dazzling light and everyone, Batman's away. But then they cut away, and one of the snakeheads has had half of its face ripped off. And you're like, that was just unnecessary. That was, like, I mean, okay, but, like...
I mean, it is still a robot that has munitions in it, so...
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Even if you say something is non-lethal, it can still probably be lethal, right? Like, if I threw a flashbang under somebody's bed while they were under it and it blew up, I'm sure that would kill them. Like, even if it's supposed to be non-lethal.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's fair.
Although I didn't know he could produce, like, a flash laser, because I feel like that's what it would have had to be to drill a hole through the thing's face.
So once everybody's collected
Yes.
together, we do actually... The biggest surprise of the episode to me was that Domon isn't a total meathead the entire time. That he made... Well, Rain basically... I mean, the language isn't quite there, but she basically talks herself to a partner level in this relationship. And she's now co-driving the situation.
Well, he does say that they have shared custody of the Gundam.
They're agreeing to the custody battle without taking it to court. It's fine.
Yeah, but first, we get Natasha giving a PowerPoint presentation.
I love how this PowerPoint presentation is basically like, okay, we're gonna hold them off, but what next? And Schwartz is like, big brain ideas.
Like, do you want to share? Like, nope, but it's gonna work.
But I do appreciate that Natasha is showing her badass strategist brain here, and is really is going beyond this is a warden to this is somebody who has been trained in several different forms of espionage, resistance, and escape. So this is her like stepping up.
Yeah.
And in the best way possible. And everybody except for Bolt Gundam, whose name I can't remember right now, who's just like, yep, she's normally like this. Why are you guys impressed?
Yeah, like Argo is just used to it. Like Argo's just like, oh, it's like I've been waiting for this. Like Argo's quite okay.
Well, I was
they
really
have the relationship where there's like, I'm gonna help. Yeah, I know. Like I've got this planned.
I was really pleased to see somebody using data and statistics and coming up with a plan, or at least considering something. Like, really what we have here are 4 cosplayers and a guy from the correction system, and somebody had to actually put some thought into it. Like, she sends up a drone, it gets shot down. Okay, maybe we can try this different technique. Maybe we can try escaping without our suits. And she's floating it, but she's really not expecting them to actually accept it. She's looking for the counteroffer. But it was nice to see somebody actually, other than Rain, I should say, because clearly Rain's always on it, actually trying to make a plan.
I mean, it's literally how it's been the entire show. Shibity's crew are smarter than him. Argo's obviously, I would say Argo's on par with her. Maybe not with the technology side, but his experience with a pirate does come in handy later. And Rain obviously should have been the pilot of the Gundam. The ladies seem to be kicking major strategic ass so far.
Although they're kicking ass with landmines, which is kind of iffy. But at the same time, they are like giant Gundam scale landmines.
That is true. And I, like, when she was like, we're surrounded on all sides, what's going on here? I'm like, kind of obvious. They want to kill you.
Let's talk about this. Yeah, let's talk about the siege situation, because again, here we are. Pink-eyed Zaku's, all right, pretty cool. Pink-eye's a little weird. Just get some drops on there, guys. They sell that stuff over the counter now, but it's fine. Winged monkey Zaku's, pretty neat. I didn't really get a whole clear look at them, but I was kind of here for it. I like the little eagle wing leg approach. Let's do it. The Murzaku show up again. What? Like, no, let it stop. It's not going to happen. Whoever...
I think what they really wanted to have a jousting battle, but they couldn't substantiate doing that, like, because Master Asia is the only one allowed to have a horse. But if they had tridents and they're in the water, we haven't done water yet. Let's do water jousting. That's the writer's room.
So here's my quest now. I don't know which variant of Gundam it's going to be in, but I need to find at least one not awful aquatic Gundam, because so far everyone has struck out.
You didn't like the crabby cancers?
Oh, but if we're gonna discuss bizarre aquatic moments, this is about when the Russian song starts kicking in. I couldn't tell what was going on here.
I was like, oh, is this Utena battle music time? Like, that's immediately what I got, but it was very Russian because the Russians are obviously leading the strategic here. So it does definitely feel very, we're going into the final battle, boys, charge! And all while the Shining Gundam are feverishly trying to put it back together because Rain is still sick from exhaustion and has a fever and nearly falls to her death from passing out. But one of the things they did beautifully in this whole montage, they showed everybody. And for Rain herself, because I pay attention to these things, Rain normally has a very straight posture, but they gave her hunched shoulders and everything to make it look like she is very exhausted. And I appreciated that. Appreciated the heck out of that.
There's while we're talking about the visual moments, there's a nice moment where they're still in the Gundam harness. It's near the end of the repair situation, and we get another one of those visuals where they take out everything but the harness itself. So they're sort of on this elevated platform, and it's a nice little shot, but also gives them that sense of like loneliness and separation in and of themselves. Anyway, and
they put
visually it was nice.
Back together, and she's like, promise me you won't leave me behind again. And he promises, and then they put the Gundam back together.
And into my brain, I feel like he was just like, yeah, I promise. All right, just let me go run off and fight and get hurt again. Like, because Domon, and to be fair, he tries it, and Schwartz is like, no, dummy, like.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So, given all of Domon's training so far against a waterfall, I see
rusty sword.
I see Schwarzbruder go up against a waterfall with his signal flare. Yeah. And I'm sitting here going, first of all, this is a 3-layered waterfall. What are you doing with this flare? What are you going to do? Like, the fire, water. The only thing you can do is make a tsunami. Is that what you're doing? Or are you going to collapse this whole waterfall structure and create a flood elsewhere? Because either way, that's going to be terrible for the environment. But who cares?
Yeah, Guyana's not faring so well in this episode.
Poor Guyana, the true victim of the last few episodes.
Like, I mean, to be fair, what landscape could survive unscathed when you have Godzilla-level size robots romping and stomping through your naturally beautiful, forests and jungles and rivers? I feel like the environment was never in consideration when they decided to make giant robots. Maybe that's why everyone keeps saying Earth is trash.
Yes, because because it like has 4 years to recover, and then they all just stomp through again.
Well, I don't want to give away my conspiracy theory here, but if at the end of this episode, as I believe to be true, the Devil Gundam was buried in this place the entire time, there must have been quite the gardening crew in place to get everything set up so that no one noticed. Hey, what's this giant pit that looks like something's dug in here? Don't worry about it. No, instead they've had men come in, there's ferns back in place, the trees are everything is just pristine and beautiful so that he can have this one reveal at the end.
Well,
anyway,
there were a bunch of Death Army guys just holding single branches up.
So I did want to touch, before we actually get to the escape, I wanted to touch on some of the other guys and what's going on as Domon and Rain are trying to fix their suit. So the French sense of humor is a little weird. I like how George is like, he kind of chuckles, and then he's like, I was just thinking about how we're going to die here, but we should have been back in the tournament or whatever. And Chibity's super into it. And then the whole group gets together around the idea of kicking Domon's ass. They're like, yeah, I'm going to kick his ass. No, I'm going to kick his ass. It's going to be great. I'll kick his ass. And
I mean, he deserves it, though.
Yeah. I love that it's not, we'll all support him. It's, no, I'm going to whoop him.
Yeah, well, it's them being like, yeah, we can come together and we're going to all get through this together because we have to. And then, obviously, Domon is the main character, so he's going to be in the final round. But I'm going to be the guy that wins.
Super likely. I will, while we're also in this section, I know it was already briefly mentioned, but I'm kind of here, like, I find a lot of Chibity's suit a little silly, the football aspects and the pads and the boxing gloves, okay.
The surfboard.
The surfboard, yep. But that revolver pistol is kind of neat. Anyway, I don't know why he's
mention the abs.
Well,
we didn't show his abs this episode.
It's true.
Yeah, because he hasn't transformed yet. Because remember, he had the big boxing glove shoulder pads still on. Like when he powers up and he goes shirtless, you can see the robot's rock hard Gundanium abs.
Oh my god, does he take his Gundam transformations from the headmaster in freaking Food Wars?
Either that, or he's trying to be Cutie Honey, and he feels like he's got to get naked to get more powerful. Either way, but I will say this: we do get a fair amount of Rose bits in this episode, which makes me happy. Also,
but he doesn't say it.
No, he does not. But we do get some rather obvious flirting between him and George. I think Chibity's pan, and he wants to smash anyone within sight.
Yeah.
Because he's obviously flirting with George through violence.
And George is flirting back.
Yeah. Even during that scene where he's like, I don't mean that I want to help you. It's just Rain. I'm only attracted to Rain.
Yeah, I love how he's like.
But it's not. He doesn't even say Rain. He says the lady.
Like he shoots the robot with the pistol and says, "Thought I'd save your life this time." And then George is like, "No." So like he takes the thing out, and George just and Chibity's just like, "Thanks." Gives him the fuck me eyes, and I'm like, "Not the time, Chibity."
Always the time.
Exactly. His libido is his power. That's like he'll get stronger the more his libido increases. It's the most anime of anime. Like it's fine. At least, but you know what? Though I will say this. At least with this series versus like Mobile Suit Gundam, we have their personalities pretty pegged right now. Like they all have very vibrant, different personalities, whereas they're not all mopey, emo, pretty boys who are like, woe is me, the child soldier. Where's my wrench to fix my broken leg?
I think that has to do with backstory because, child soldiers have all that emotional trauma. And so they can't process things. Most of them can't process things the way people who haven't endured that kind of trauma do. The person who got closest to having somewhat of a normal life is Troa because of Catherine, trying really hard to give him some kind of normal life despite being in a circus. So the difference between Mobile Suit, the Wings Zero cast versus this cast is purely backstory, and I appreciate the difference.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong, like they all got their time to shine in Gundam, but I feel like taking away some of that despair kind of helps liven things up. Like we had a great time making fun of that show because Hero is just ridiculous. Like, but at least with this we get fun, right? And also they have kind of appropriate relationships. Like no one's trying to scream for someone else to kill them in some various way. Like,
or
you know what I'm saying?
macking on the 12-year-old village girl who lives nearby or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, spying on them while they bathe. Like, yeah, you know, everyone's consenting adults, or at least consenting teenagers. Like, we don't really have a grasp on age, except for Argo. Argo is an adult man.
Argo is in a complicated relationship.
No, we I think, wasn't it 2 or 3 episodes ago, we actually went to make sure they were all adults, and other than Saisaichi, they're all adults.
Yeah, they're all over 20, except for Saisaichi. Or they're like around 20.
Although, despite their age, Schwartz has no trouble pulling a big brother and being like, all right, y'all do the work, and I'm going to tell you what to do, but I'm not going to tell you what's going on. You just go over there and listen to me. Which is
major big brother energy.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's just at this point. I'm just like, do we need Schwartz? Like, I mean, honestly, do we need Schwartz? Because like his training has been: here's this rusty sword, smack this tree. Here's this rusty sword, cut water. Here's this rusty sword, go fight things in the dark, evil cave, Luke. All right. While you're over here with your girlfriend, your mechanic, I'm going to go punch a rock wall, a 3-tiered waterfall.
Here is my counter argument, and this is me coming at it as one of the newbies to the series and having never seen it before. So, when we first understood Schwartz to be Domon's brother, whose name escapes me just at the moment, what's his actual name?
Kyoji.
When we first knew him to be Kyoji, like, we figured this shit out episodes and episodes ago, all right? And fine, it's been kind of fun to have this weird German ninja along for the ride. And we're going to obviously get to the standard climactic anime moment where, oh my god, Kyoji, it's really you! And that's going to be great, and we're really going to enjoy that. And then 2 minutes later, we're going to have to listen to, all right, Kyoji, now explain to me why you didn't tell me that, like 3 nations ago. Why did you just not say who the fuck you were, given that this entire quest was to locate you? Like, that's the awkward family conversation I am looking to have happen.
I just want to smack down. I just want a good old fashioned, fisticuffs between brothers.
I mean, if this was a Gona Guy work, we would have already had it. Like, they would have done the reveal, and then to get more powerful and to show their family bonds, they would have had to beat each other to a pulp because of burning youth and passion and whatever else they need to scream to get more powerful.
I feel like this is one of those families where they're going to be like, oh my god, Kyoji, I'm so happy to see you. Oh my god, Domon, it's great. And then they're going to shake hands, and then they're going to grimace at each other, and they're just going to squeeze each other's hands harder and harder and harder for like 20 minutes until one of them starts crying. And then one of them's going to be like, I'm going to tell Mom!
Wait, is this the scene from Predator?
Mom's dead.
Between Arnold and old boy who played Apollo Creed, like they're just gonna have.
That's what I'm saying. Carl Weathers and Arnold shaking their arms. Anyway,
so Master Asia finally gets off his butt from posing on top of things, which is most of what he does this episode. Like, literally, there is a scene where Master Asia is posing on the head of his Gundam, which is posing on top of one of those Gundam head things. So, like,
I have evil villainy pose points.
Okay,
Let me do my version of JoJo.
Now, at this point, has the weird post-battle music begun? Because they went from the Russian, like, badass to the weirdest after-school special music in the post-battle sequence. I thought somebody was going to tell us a dark secret about their family, but not like the Kyoji thing. I had no idea what was going on there. Are we dealing with angel dust this week? What is going on?
Listen,
So
One-
this is
one
the
of the
after school special
directors,
about
they're-
not blowing up mines you find in the river.
What it is one of the directors has a friend that is a composer, and they're just like, "Oh, you're working on a Gundam anime? Hang on, I made this great song for you."
It was a step away from the sad Hulk music. Anyway, okay, yes.
But I
Master
like
Asia.
the sad Hulk music.
So Master
Yeah,
Asia
yeah,
blows
yeah.
up the flare, and the flare goes off. And so that's Schwartz's cue to spin at the water really fast, like a helicopter.
Here's my thing. We've already seen that Gundams can fight and exist underwater. So how is this going to work, Schwartz?
Well, it's
Like how is
Yeah.
this going to work, guy?
pressure. Like they're not expecting it, and all the Zakus get washed away.
They even have mermaid Zaku.
I was gonna
What?
say, what happens to the Murzakus? I think they're ready for it.
If there's any time that they're going to be useful, this was going to be it, and they were not. So I have nothing else to add.
Somehow this works, and that's the cue for the other Gundams and the Russians to leave.
With Rain in a medical bay,
Yes.
which somehow has a window facing outward, which makes no sense on a military plane. It's going into an active zone where they will be fired upon. No! Why?
Well,
Ah!
Because
Set look
the-
directly down on her while she's sleeping, so he can whisper, "I'm sorry, I wasn't able to keep our promise."
Dude,
And
they
also-
have Jedi-like mind connection already. It would have been fine if she just looked at the ceiling and went, "Domon," and he looked down at the cold, dark transport and said, "Rain," and that's it. That's all you needed. You didn't need her to be in a place that is unprotected where she's probably gonna die, but she has plot armor. Sorry.
Listen,
I'm okay.
listen, there could have been, 24 inches of bulletproof glass there. I mean, they've obviously spent ridiculous amounts of money on giant space fighting robots. So what's to say they couldn't have had, 24 inches of thick bulletproof glass, It's the Rain Aquarium.
The thing about that is that they're still fucking up the planet
Yeah.
by having their battles here while people still live on the planet.
Okay, but on the
Listen.
flip side, I have been trained to believe that if I see a plane in a Gundam show, someone's getting kicked out the back and shot. So I was very disappointed by the way the scene
Right?
concluded.
See?
Listen, nobody is as thorough or vicious as Lady okay? Like you threw this man out of a plane that was basically scraping the bottom layer of space, and you're like, I still need to shoot that man. I would love it if the Russian lady got that vicious at some point, and even Argo was like, "Oh, damn!" Like,
Yeah.
Listen. Lady An spends all day working for other people. Sometimes she just needs to take a moment for her. And if that moment is shooting a man while he's falling to his death just because she can, she'll do it. So basically, everyone, like the other three Gundams, like dive into the river and swim to Hong Kong. And
Again, this
Yeah.
show has no grasp of geography. Like,
Yeah,
you can
th-
walk across Canada in an afternoon, and you definitely want to swim from the Guyana Highlands to Hong Kong. That's a solid move.
the
You
Bolt
gotta
Gundam
go
is like
over the Indian Sea. It's fine.
and the thing is that the Bolt Gundam, like they say that it's the only ship. The ship can only carry one Gundam, and that's why, the Bolt Gundam.
Yeah.
but it's leaning out the back firing. Which is both cool, but I don't think that's how planes work.
I think that may have been Chibity's contribution to the plan.
Like,
Duct tape?
Look cool.
Yeah, duct tape and fire out of the back just to look cool. It's fine. It'll be fine. You're going in the stratosphere. Just don't have any man people in the cargo bay. It's fine.
Listen, you didn't hear Chimney say if you can't duck it, fuck it. Like,
Okay, but again, missed opportunity. Another Gundam could have kicked the Gundam out of the suit, and then
Seriously.
and he has a revolver. He could have shot it.
So my memory is this episode concludes with the most obvious thing in the world, which is the Devil Gundam rises up, and Domon just can't believe it. He can't believe he's encountered the exact thing he's been looking for this entire show.
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
He can't believe that the bad guy whose entire army is here in this place is also here.
Not to mention, not just the whole army, but the general of that army as well. So all the Devil Gundam supporters are here. This is the biggest Devil Gundam rally to date.
Devil Gundam Con. Future Century 64.
I think we've glossed over a little bit of Domon's big realization as he faces down Master Asia and he says, "I no longer consider you my master. I will defeat you, the undefeated of the East." And I'm like, oh God, that is such a teenager thing to say.
My question is he gonna have to change his name?
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. I was like, is he going to be the once defeated? Or or is it the undefeated except for that one time, but it doesn't count when he was a teenager?
Undefeated of the East, asterisk.
Like, I just feel like when he says that, you hear in the background, finally! Like, because we've been saying he's not your teacher. Like, the Shuffle Alliance even said he's no longer your teacher, and he's finally accepting it. Now, I will also say that saying he will defeat the undefeated of the East is definitely how an anime character normally gets his ass kicked. Like, I will defeat so-and-so, and then they just get pummeled. Like,
yeah.
Like, and then I really would have wished it happened, and then Master Asia just looks at him and goes, "What do you think was going to happen, boy? I'm the undefeated of the East. Jeez. Like, you think I got that name for shits and giggles? Like, God,
dude, I bend lasers. What is wrong with you?
Yeah, I can kill
I have this magic scarf.
Yes, I was just about to say, I defeat robots with my scarf. Like, what have you been doing? Trying to cut a waterfall with a rusty sword? Well, yeah. And he just walks away. I don't want you as my student anymore.
I do note that we are not even halfway through this series yet, so...
Yes, so...
This
is definitely the total final battle, for sure. Totally the final battle.
I would say...
Finalist final battle.
I would say this is...
So final.
I would say this would be the equivalent of that episode in Gundam Wing where was it Duo and Ufei that were in the prison, the cells being guarded by Troa, and they were sitting there talking their fantasies about their new mobile suits.
And
I feel like this would be the equivalent of that. Yes, from a lack of oxygen.
So have we reached that point where we talk about our favorite bits?
Yes, I think so. So Spence, what was your favorite part of this episode?
Oh, battle music. Like, that turned my head and I was like, wait a minute. Hello. I am here for this. Let's go. I want more of this. Who in the cast is going to start singing? Oh, nobody's going to start singing? Okay, well, I guess I can deal with it. And so I'm sitting there and I rewind it a couple of times to make sure that I could read the lyrics and stuff because they were ridiculous. It was great. I loved it.
They should have had Argo mouthing along. Anyway.
Yeah.
You would think so.
Just Natasha has a chorus behind her.
So I think my favorite was probably, and we've already touched on it kind of, is the visuals, especially the hanging and harness. But I don't know, there's something, as much as I guff on the Zaku's, the weird eagle Zaku's are pretty neat.
Yeah.
There was some nice visual moments. The show has such a, I'd be interested in looking into who directed it, perhaps. Like, I don't understand why we get these weird horror visuals on a fairly consistent basis. There's something utterly creepy to me about all of the forest of heads coming up from beneath the earth and sort of the implications of that. Anyway, nice visuals.
It reminds me of sea eels and sea snakes, the way they all hold their heads up in the water to try to catch prey.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were trying to go for like a Hydra-esque analogy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you remove one head, more show up. But my favorite part is horny Chimney. I love, and it's the simple fact that usually in shows made for younger audiences or like to sell toys, they're very sexually sterile outside of some, you know, random TNA. So, you know, sexualization of female characters. Like, but in this, like, he's actively trying to fuck. Like, he is actively pursuing sex. And I just felt it was a breath of fresh air because, like, again, a lot of these shows are very, very sterilized. Like, it's kind of like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? Like, not many people in that fuck. And I feel like that kind of takes away because it doesn't make them seem to be like normal people. Because, you know, normal people have sexual arousal. They want these things. Or, like, if these are supposed to be young college-age boys, they definitely are trying to bone. Like
yeah.
Like, they're mostly hormones. Like, but yeah, she Gundam. Horny Chibity. It's a good thing.
My favorite part was also Chibity, and it was Chibity and Saisaishi, like, reacting to the drone getting blown up by the robot head eye lasers.
Yeah.
Because they just both, like, stand up and, like, that was awesome!
Do it again! Yeah.
It's going to kill you! This is, like, a demonstration of how fucked you are. Why are you excited? But I do like, and I also like the design of the drone, because they couldn't really show that it was smaller, so they just made it rounder.
Yeah, no, I do feel for them, though, because sometimes I watch those Boston Dynamics videos with, like, the big dog or whatever, and I'm like, this is super cool. I'm probably going to get murdered by it at some point, but this is super cool.
Yeah.
So, I get it. Emmy-looking
police robots.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. The one thing is Chibity's got to stay away from those pink-eyed Zaku's, because he's going to catch them.
Yeah,
anyway.
Definitely. Well, how much of a nanotech-covered skeleton is it?
Oh God! Now we just got this visual of Chimney going up to Rain, being like, "I wouldn't happen to have any like penicillin, would you? Because I like
or ointment."
Yeah, like, and she's like, "You fucked the pink-eyed Zaku, did you?" It was mostly human, you know.
It was human once. Anyway.
It gave consent. It's fine.
Give consent, though.
I'm going to say that Chibity would be enough of a gentleman not to, like...
Yeah, otherwise.
Yeah.
And I mean, those abs, how could the Zaku resist?
Indeed.
That is true. And he is trying to vie and be the smoothest of the Gundam. Like he wants to be the white Billy D. I would love to see a Colt 45 placement in this show. Like, just Chibity is leaning up against the wall, like, while his Gundam's being repaired, drinking a Colt 45.
Thanks for listening. You can find all of our show notes and past episodes at nostalgiapilots.com. Follow everything I do through my Linktree. That's linktr.ee/UJ O'Donnell.
You can find all my stuff over at skinner.fm.
You can find everything I do at nerdsvoices.com.
And you can find everything I do on my Linktree, linktr.ee/Resonant Moon.
And until next week,
Till next
Until
week, we will defeat the undefeated of the East.
No, you haven't even finished your training.
You